By the way, I have healed. As you guys can see, I can now speak properly. Hello everybody, welcome to Taking the College Route with Bongi. Hello everybody, welcome to Taking the College Route with Bongi. My name is Bongekile Ralarala, and today we are going to be talking about how I got my apprenticeship. This is a highly requested video, and I took long to make this video because I did not know how to give you guys this information. So this time I decided to just give it to you guys in a form of a story, because I don't know how else to give it to you besides basically giving you guys a story around how I got my apprenticeship. All right, I have however alluded to how I got my apprenticeship on one of my very first videos. I think I was telling you guys, giving you guys an advice on how else you could get apprenticeships. But yeah, I've never done a video where I specifically talk about how I got my apprenticeship, and as it seems that it is what you guys want, here we are. I'm here to deliver on another promise. By the way, I have healed. As you guys can see, I can now speak properly. I am, however, still recovering from other sicknesses that I suffered after the tooth extraction. I got an infection from the tooth extraction and I was on antibiotics for about a week. My immune system was very weak. You basically try not to eat a lot after a tooth extraction because you're avoiding using the affected side for chewing. So my immune system became very weak because of that. I was not eating much, and I got attacked by flu. Right in the middle of flu, I got my period. Like, I have not suffered enough pain this month. I really would not have minded missing my period this time around. Anyway, without rambling too much, let us quickly get into the video. Like I mentioned, this is going to be in a form of a story. So I finished my NCV level 4. For those of you that don't know, I did electrical infrastructure from NCV level 2 to NCV level 4. I finished my NCV level 4 and I decided, let me just go back home to think about my life, my future, to think about what it is exactly that I want to do now that I finished with what I was doing. And of course the plan was to maybe try and continue with school, but you know, I had a lot of pressure because I have a child. I had a lot of pressure from home. I needed to get a job and I knew that was going to be hard for me. So I had a lot to think about. So I went home and schools reopened. I was still at home. A friend of mine called me and said, friend, the MQA department is, so basically the MQA provincial office of the Free State is in the Goldfields Tivet College in the engineering campus. So it was easy for us to get information first hand for MQA from MQA, right? So my friend called me and said MQA is taking CVs for everyone who has passed their level 4. I think you need to come this side, which is what I did. I quickly came this side. When I got there, they said, no, we've already collected CVs and we've taken them to the training center that the students are going to be using for their apprenticeship. And I was advised, I don't remember if it was by the MQA or if it was by my friend, but then I was advised to quickly go to the training center. Guys, excuse me. When I got back from home, I traveled the whole night and I got there in the morning. I didn't even bath, went straight to school. From school, they told me, yeah, you better go to the training center. I went to the training center and they took my CV. I'm guessing they put it together with everyone was going to be sponsored by the MQA, right? Because that whole apprenticeship was sponsored by the MQA. They wanted 200 students. Unfortunately, they had not met 200 when I got there, because they even took students from other provinces, from other colleges, which is how I met most of my friends. But that's a story for another day. So I went there to the training center and I gave which is I think the most important part of this video. I took my CV to the training center. It's very important for you guys, like I always advise you, to find training centers around you and try to find because if there are such sponsorships like the MQA and many other sitters, not just the MQA, there are so many other sitters out there. And the only way you can find this information, if you don't find it directly from the SETA or directly from the college, is if you go to the training center and submit your CV and say, this is what I have done, and please, when there's a sponsor or anything along those lines, please consider me. All right. So yeah, I did that. They called me for an interview. The interview is just way too a formality, because they just ask you basic stuff. They just ask you basic stuff, everything you know from school, and basic interview questions really. Then later, I think about 2 or 3 months later, I got a call. I had gotten the apprenticeship, and so I started around March. It was in 2016. I started around March. The apprenticeship was supposed to be 18 months, but due to some difficulties that I'm probably going to talk about one day on the channel, it ended up being 3 years. It ended up being 3 years, but the good thing is that the MQA continued to pay us even though it was not in their budget, because their budget was for 18 months. So because it had now to go to 3 years, they still continue to pay us until we have done our trade tests, and yeah, we finished. So it's not a long story, and I think, like I said, the one important thing that you guys wanted to get from this was exactly what happened. And what happened was, I just went to the training center to submit my CV. I don't know if there were other people who did that with me, but I would really advise you to just take your CV to a training center and let them know, and give them your contact details. Tell them that if there's any sponsor that needs students, let them contact you or whatever. Also, keep checking, keep going there with your CV, keep submitting your CV as if you're going there for the first time, so that they don't forget about you. Yeah, I think that's it. If you have gotten your apprenticeship differently from the way that I got it, please comment down below and tell us how you got it, so that people, can get pointers from all of us. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. From me to you right now, it is goodbye. I will see you on my next video. If you have gotten to this part of the video, please comment with a heart.